Hello everyone, in this video I want to show you how you can use rag on your Excel files on your Google Sheets file. And we call Excel and Google Sheets file structured data because they follow a certain structure, and we call things like Word documents, PDF documents unstructured data because they do not have a structure, and you cannot use the same rag system you use for your unstructured data, such as for your PDFs and for your Word documents, for your Excel documents, for your Google Sheets document, because Google Sheets and Excel have a structure, and this structure is meaningful, and you cannot just pretend that that structure does not exist. And in this video I want to create a system where we utilize both structured and unstructured data in our rag system, and at the end we can run our query on both of these type of documents at the same time. So if you like these types of videos, please like and subscribe, and also join my Discord channel linked in the description to get the workflow I'm describing in this video. Thank you. The first thing we need in our n8n workflow is the Google Drive module. So I have this module here, and whenever we add a new file to our basically the Google Drive, it's gonna get noticed here, and that's how our workflow gets started. So I'm gonna go to my Google Drive and I'm gonna add a new file. Okay, I'm gonna upload a new file, and I'm gonna upload this sales data into my Google Drive. And now that I have a new file, I can basically run my entire workflow. And then once we have everything, I'm gonna go over these individual modules so you can see how things work on an individual level. So as you can see, the workflow was successfully completed. And if I go to my Supabase, I have two documents. Basically, I have my tabular document row, and these are my information that I'm going to use later in my rag retrieval. And also I have the rag record manager. So the record manager is a record of what already has been added to my Supabase. And also I have a documents section, and the documents is just for unstructured data, and we didn't have any unstructured data because our data was basically an Excel file, so this is empty. Now let's go over the individual modules we have. So first of all, we noticed that we have a new file, then we looped over all the files we have, and then we downloaded the file. Okay, this is our file here, and next we decided whether it's a CSV file or a PDF file, and we can basically tell that because we have this information from Google Drive. So we could tell this is a CSV file, it's not a PDF file, and you could add more file formats here. You could add Excel file, you could add Word documents, but for our case these are enough. Okay, now we want to extract the information from our CSV file. We are doing the same for our unstructured data. So we are going to extract the files, extract the information, and then we're going to aggregate all those information, because as you can see we have 20 items, and we're going to aggregate them into one item. And here we are extracting the column names. So array keys is our column name, right? So we have the product name, date sold, price, quantity, blah blah blah, and basically this field right here grabs all these column names, which we are going to use later in the workflow. Also we have a summarized field right here, which is gonna concatenate all of the information we have in our Excel file. So this is the summary of our Excel file, and we are gonna merge these column names as well as this information right here in our basically tabular data field. So this tabular data field basically has the concatenated data, it has the column names, and it also has the actual data, which are basically our aggregated data. And then we are going to merge these right here. So this merge file is a combination of our CSV file and our PDF file if we had a PDF file. So we would put all of our information in this merged module, and then we want to create a hash for our document. So if we don't know what a hash is basically a way we can represent our text. So whenever we upload a text, we get the hash, and that hash is unique to that text. If the text changes, the hash changes. So we create a hash for our text, and then here we are checking our record manager, which I showed you earlier, to see whether we have any files in our Supabase that has the same basically file ID as our current file. And if that's the case, then we want to get those, and we want to come to this switch. So if none of our files in our record manager have the same file ID as the current file we're uploading, we are good. We can just move on with the rest of our workflow. But if we do have a file with the same file ID, and if the hashes are equal, that means that we have that file, and that file is the same exact file because the hash hasn't changed. In that case, we are gonna go back to the beginning of our workflow. We are not gonna change anything. But let's say we do have a file with the exact file ID, but the thing is the hashes are not equal. That means we have the file, but the file has changed. In that case, we are just gonna delete the previous file, and we're gonna upload the new file. Okay, so in this case the file was new, so we are gonna create a record in our record manager, and the record manager basically has the file ID, it has the hash, and it has the field for basically the data type, which is the tabular data. And we are gonna upload all these into the record manager so we know what has been uploaded. It's kind of like a metadata for us. And once we do that, we are basically gonna put that record ID, which is the record for our record manager, into this edit field module so we can use it later. And then let me explain something to you. So this is our record manager, right? And our tabular document rows, which is our actual data, has also a record manager. And these record managers are all 19 because they are referring to the same submission. And that's just something I would like to talk about. So now that we have basically our record, we want to see whether our file is tabular or unstructured. If our file is tabular, we're going to move with the tabular path. But if the file is basically a PDF file, we're just going to upload the text into Supabase like we normally would do. And I haven't put in too much effort into the second part because I want to talk about the CSV or the Excel file path. So in this module, we are going to delete any rows that are the same as the current row we are adding, but that's not going to happen because our document is new. And here, basically, we are putting all the information we have in a edit field module, and that is called data rows, and I'm going to explain why we need this later. And we're going to split all those, so we're going to get 20 items, and we are going to upload all those 20 items into Supabase. So we have our Supabase here, and if you want to create your Supabase account, you can basically click on create new credential, go back to your Supabase, go back to your database, click on connect, and here go to the transaction puller, view the parameters, and paste all this information into the respective fields here. I'm not going to do that because I've already done that. And here we are sending some values into our basically tabular data. Okay, so if I go back to my database, we have the tabular document rows, right? Here we are uploading our raw data, which is our actual data, as well as our record manager ID, so the ID that connects us to the record manager table. And we are uploading those right now. And once we do that, we are done. Our document has been uploaded to Supabase, so we do nothing and we go back to the beginning of our workflow. So now you might ask yourself, how are we going to use this? In order to use this basically RAG, we need an AI agent. That AI agent needs to have a basically chat model, and you can get the chat models here. So just look for a chat model like OpenAI and you can get it. We are connecting a memory to it, And here we have two basically Postgres tools. So the first Postgres tool is to basically check the record manager basic table. So we are using this to fetch all the information from the record manager, and basically our column needs to be the same as tabular. So the data type should be tabular, and if that's the case, we're going to use this tool to get our record manager information, and we're going to use this one to basically get our actual information. And the important part is the prompts I'm having here. So here I have provided some instructions, and here we basically, the instructions are very important. So if you want to have these instructions, you can join my Discord channel, and the entire workflow is there for you to use. Okay, and you can just copy them here too. And then we also have this Supabase vector store. This Supabase vector store is for the case if we had, let's say, PDF files uploaded to our Supabase vector store, but I'm gonna say use if necessary, but here we do not have any PDF files, so it's not necessary. And if we look at our basically Excel file, we can see that the Excel file is for basically an e-commerce store, and we have the information about the product sold. So I'm just gonna test this rack module to see if it works properly, and I'm gonna say how many Bluetooth speakers have we sold. Okay, and we are going to use our basically all of our tools that we have to find the information, and we have sold 12 Bluetooth speakers. That's it for this video. If you liked it, like and subscribe, and also join my Discord channel and ask any questions if you have in the comment section. Thank you.